I'm not a person who like to be on the stage, I would say, but Frank's passion is marketing and my passion is actually partners, because I'm coming from a partner, so I really can feel you and I like your work. And we would like to talk about two main topics. Yeah? The first topic is actually, we know you as a partner, or most of our partners have no knowledge or have not the same knowledge about Staffbase. That is why we would like to start with a short look into the past, what happens in the last 8 years, what has changed in the last 8 years, how we run our projects. I think it's really important also from a partner perspective. And then, of course, the second main point is we want to give you an overview about partner service, what we believe, what we're already using with our partners and customers, and what we see in the futures, and also some real examples. This is actually a first conversation about this topic. I'm really sure we will have deeper conversations in the future together with our partner management team and also together with some examples and with some projects. We need some experience together. And if we not talk too much, Frank and me, we also talking really a lot normally. We have also time for a Q&A, but we also can have some discussions in the breaks.
And there will be a second deep dive session tomorrow as well, right?
Correct. So let's start to have a look into the past, what happens with Staffbase. Some of you already know, Frank mentioned that, Staffbase was founded in 2014 with one product, employee app. Who knows what was actually the original name of the company and of the product? Who knows that? What was the name? EO, right. That was EO. So that's actually where we founded in this, and we have only one product. From a partner perspective, the second most important milestone was in the year 2019. Who has any ideas what was really important for Staffbase in 2019? Any ideas? Come on. What happens in 2019? Okay, no ideas. Okay, I moved from a partner to Staffbase. No, it was a joke. It's real, but it's not the main reason. The main reason is we develop our second most important product, the front-door internet. We start with the development in the beginning of this year. Actually, we sold this product already. It was not developed at all, but we sold it in the early stage of this year, and we roll out with our first front-door internet customer end of this year, like MAN, Wieland, Gebrüder Weiss, and we already had some internet customers before, but of course our customers like Aldi use our employee app as an intranet, but in these scenarios, we replace the existing intranet, like based on First Spirit, based on SharePoint, based on custom intranets, and we replace that, and Staffbase was actually the front intranet with the main important channels, the desktop version and the mobile app. Okay, and then today, Frank also mentioned that, we really believe the success factor is communication. Not just on corporate communication level, also on division level, on local level, and also in corporate units and business units. Yes? As a HR department, if you have the best benefits for your employees, but they don't know that you have these benefits, nothing will happen. So that means communication is the key, and that is also good also for partners, but because that means we are a more complex product, we have a multi-channel strategy, and we really work together with Microsoft 365. Okay, and that is really what I can also let you know from my experience in the past. Staffbase as an app-only vendor was not really an attractive partner vendor, I would say. I sold Staffbase a lot in the past during my time as a partner, and to sold professional service was really, really hard. I was really happy when I sold 5 or 10 or 15-person days, because the product was so simple, so easy, was mostly an additional channel to an existing intranet just for news. There was not big deals to also sell professional service at this time. And in my opinion, that changed a lot. And there's two reasons for that. The one thing is, of course, the product. And the other reason is, of course, our customers. And what you can see here now is what I mean with that. The last 8 years, everything increased. What we mean with that is like we have more enterprise class customers. And we're just talking about Deutsche Post DHL groups. We have GE, we have ISS, we have Aldi, we have a lot of other customers. And the good thing is also for you as a partner, you can also move your opportunities when you have now customers with 300 or 400 employees. You can also increase, and maybe you increase to your enterprise large customers with 1,000, 2,000 or 3,000 employees, I will say. The other thing is, with our projects and with our front-door internet, we have more complexity projects. Yeah? the front door intranet, we're talking about the internet project. When you roll out the employee app, that is an additional channel, so you don't have so much budget. But when we're talking about the intranet, you're talking about specific topics like migration, about information architecture, about governance, how it works together with Microsoft 365. And of course, we also have higher budgets for that, yeah? I can just remember with the DHL project when we also want to upsell our licenses, there was a main topic, okay, if we're talking about the internet in some years, we're talking, yes, about different kind of budgets. Everything okay? I think that was a firework about the budget. Okay. Everything okay? Okay, great. Actually, our project have a higher management attention. That's also good for you and for us. During the pandemic, it was a little bit crazy because everyone talks about communication, but now we're talking about change management, about transformation, and that is also have a higher attention with the management. And what is also really interesting for you, also as an old Valo partner, I will say, we have more stakeholders involved. When I run employee app projects in the past, we're already just talking to internal communication. We need a little bit IT support for the authentication things, to use Azure ID or some other things, but that changed also a lot. With the internet project, we're not just talking to internal communication. When we roll out this kind of project, we also need IT involved in the whole project. Now we're getting also this increase that HR is asking more about how we can also present our service in our employee app or intranet, because we have the first time for a lot of customers that we roll out a communication platform to all employees, and now the business units start also to say, okay, we should use this platform also for our services, and we have much more support, different support services are required from our customers. And we're not just talking about corporate functions. That means we have one example, we have a customer, a Scandinavian customer, automotive branch, and they say, we need support for our division in UK. Just help this division in UK. That means you don't need to talk to the corporate communication, or you don't have to support the global project. You can also support different location, divisions, or business units. I think that's also quite important.
Maybe as one thing to add, if you remember what I showed, the space that we want to play in, that's a direct result is that space is a space where we need more partner support, right? If we would decide to go smaller, more like generic solution, it's less partner support because it's very easy to roll out, right? So that's one development, but if we look at the next 2 years, it's going to increase even more. Right?
Yeah, and what kind of trend we see is actually this. It's a bit short and sweet. Now it's less implementation, more business support. What I mean with that? I know you really well because I also roll out a lot of internets based on different kind of technologies, like SharePoint 2013 was a really great project, I will say. I also roll out some Drupal project intranets and some Confluence intranets and some others. And the time when I was the consultant at this time, we sold actually 300, 400, 500 days for development. This time, I guess, is over. Yeah, we believe it's more important to have the integrations. Maybe you can also use APIs to develop custom features and integrate it in our solution or in other standard products. But the time to develop a lot of personal days for intranet scenarios, I think that is quite over. Yeah. If I thought about one of my SharePoint 2030 project, the main case why they start to roll out the intranet SharePoint was because of the employee handbook. There was the insurance, they have to make sure that all the legal documents should be in the SharePoint with the approval processes, with approvals, with review, security, all the other things. And that is why we spend a lot of days. That will be still happens in the future, but I think the intranet scenario with SharePoint will be more or less implementation. It's more about business advisory. That means customers take care about more content creation. What is the best internet strategy? How we communicate to our customers or to our employees, I would say. How we use channels and how we use pages for informations. I think that is what we see, Frank, together as a trend. That it's really less implementation, more business support needed in the future. Okay, and the really good thing about that is our customers need much more support, and this actually is the most important question, what we are doing as a Staffbase. How customers, what they can expect from us as a Staffbase with our services. And the good thing is, what I will explain you now in a high level, what we are doing. nothing changed since 8 years. We do the same support CS approach since 8 years. That means we not do anything more, but our customers need much more support in the future, today and in the future. And that is actually a high-level overview, how we see our customers and our projects. We actually see two main phases. The first phase is the onboarding phase. That means from the kickoff until the first launch go live, I would say. The average time for this phase is actually 3 to 5 months. Of course, it also depends on the customers. We have some customers, they miss to get the approval from the worker council, I would say. So that means they can go live after 12 months, but we was already ready after 3 and 5 months. And we have the continued growth phase. That is actually after the launch until a customer cancels the contract. In the internet case, that never happens, I guess. We still have all our internet customers. And what you can also see is the project team. We have really 3 important rules in the onboarding phase. That is the onboarding project lead. He's a guidance guide. He takes care about that the customer deliver all necessary information what we need to build the app. When you think about a mobile app, we need a brand, we need a logo, we need a name, we need an Apple Store description, and we have to take care that customers deliver all this information to us because we have to build this app. And that is actually the task from the technical onboarding engineer. He will build the app, he will take care that we all make our configuration on our side. So we not take care about all the topics on the customer side, we just make sure that we connect it to our Azure AD synchronization, and also when we set up the SCIM solution for our customers. We have the CSM. The CSM just shares some best practices, nothing more. And if the customer goes live, we switch to the continued growth phase, and that means the onboarding project lead and the technical engineers will leave the project. Still the CSM, the Customer Success Manager, is a single point of contact, and that actually just means we do our regular business review. Normally it's a quarterly review, just 1 hour, where we talked about numbers, where we talked about the new app release, because we roll out an app release every quarter, and then we also talk about some use cases, what we know from our other customers. Also only 1 hour, and that means actually for the whole year 4 hours. So I feel that this is actually not a consulting service, this is what we mean in your business. And of course we are a SaaS solution, that means we have a third level support. If getting something wrong, we have a downtime, we have some issues with features, then of course the customer can contact us, our customer care team, and we make sure that we fix this problem. That is actually what we also can discuss in the future. So in the nutshell, that means we just make sure as a Staffbase that we take care about the technical provision of our product. That's the only thing what we are doing. And we still have to do it in the future because we just can build the app, the platform, and we can make sure that we also publish these apps in the public app stores. Of course, we do some admin and content trainings, but just for the core team. That means we're talking about 2 sessions, for each of the sessions 1 hour. That means 2 hours for the core team, we're talking about 6 persons. We have a customer, he tried to enable all the editors, we're talking about 100 editors, and that is actually a task of a partner. It's not our task. We share best practices. That means for the public area, for example, maybe some of you know that, we need a public area for the mobile app. And of course, we have more than 200, 300 examples for public areas where what we will share with our customers. Also some use cases, but we just share the best practices, nothing more. If it's necessary, we do also some CSS adjustments, but that is actually what also a partner can cover in the future. And of course, we have the onboarding project lead. He just take care about that. The customer take care about all the internal work packages. That also means we can't go live with any content, right? So we need the content, we need the user management. We not take the ownership on these topics, but we take care that the customer think about this kind of things, and that is actually everything what we are doing. And what we are not doing is we're creating not any content, we don't do any consulting workshops, and we not help with internal customer IT issues. That means, in a nutshell, I don't see our CS approach actually in a competition with partners. We're talking about maybe for the all onboarding project, 10-person days, nothing more. It's nothing what you want to do with our customers, I will say. And we can also think about to reduce it in the future. That is where I will talk tomorrow about the co-delivery approach. And we see a lot of more benefits with your support for the customers. And then we're talking about much more person days. Okay?
Maybe as one clarification, I asked the question and you say if I'm right or wrong. If we talk about co-delivery, it's a very special status for partners who really know what we are doing. And the co-delivery approach means even a lot of what's up there with the green check marks is something that partners do, right? So like that's kind of the second, that's the black belt I can introduce Staffbase. So co-delivery partner pretty much takes away all the services from us. We still have to have some technical stuff that we need to build, right?
Right.
And I think we will go into this now.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Jump to the next point. Your services. Okay. We see more and more common consulting service from the beginning. What means with that? If a customer or a prospect not decide for Staffbase, maybe have some scenarios, Microsoft only, that's okay for us. Maybe then the customer comes back in 2 years. Maybe one scenario is Microsoft and Staffbase, that's perfect. And the third scenario is maybe Microsoft and another solution. That is not good at all. Yeah, we don't want that. Yeah? So Microsoft is okay, Microsoft Staffbase is the best solution. And we see more and more common that customers or prospect needs help in this strategy phase to find the right IT strategy combined with Microsoft 365. So we have a lot of really good examples now with partners where they start to support a customer or prospect like a kind of a POC, yeah, or like a pilot phase, where they have an open decision if they choose Staffbase or not, but they need some help to find the right strategy with the IT, with comms, and with the business partner to find the best solution for the customer.
And maybe to mention that, I know that a lot of Valo partners have seen Valo as a Trojan horse into a customer's Microsoft environment, a consulting environment. It's the same here, right? It's exactly the same opportunity to uncover a lot of other things in the Microsoft ecosphere, because we want to coexist and be hosted and be part of the Microsoft platform in that regard.
Yes. Okay. The second thing is, then we're talking about the onboarding growth phase. Also, that means the customer decides for Staffbase. And for Microsoft 365, actually 98% of our customers have both. We're talking about the basics. That is actually what we mean with co-delivery. I will talk about that tomorrow. That means to make sure that you help the customer to give us all important information to build the platform. We're just really talking about the technical provision, nothing more, nothing about content. But I will talk about that tomorrow. And then I think the more attractive thing is actually the additional partner packages. And I think there are two scenarios. The first one is about the basics. And I believe every customer needs that. And there are three main topics. The first thing is to define the audience and segmentation, the personas and the content what we want to deliver to these audience groups. To define the content and cluster, that means what kind of information, what kind of use cases we will cover with our platform, also in competition to Microsoft 365. And we're talking about the governance and information architecture topics. Yeah? What kind of things we will cover in Staffbase, what kind of things we will cover with Microsoft 365, how we build up a great navigation. And I'm really sure every customer needs this kind of things. How big is this kind of project? It really depends on the customers. We have smaller customers, they just need help with 5 or 10 person days, it's some workshops, whatever. We have customers where you can spend 30 or 40 days on this kind of topics. And we have also smaller customers. They have a really complex organization structure with a lot of business units, and they also need much more about that. Yeah? But I think this is actually what every customer needs from us and from you.
Yeah, maybe one aspect. If you look at typical Staffbase projects and you have frontline employees and they open up an app and they are in a large global organization like DHL, a big success factor is that it's still plain easy what you see in the app. So the level of personalization that you have to have is on an entirely different level than we know from traditional intranets. That's why, like, traditionally information architecture navigation is a part of an intranet project. For typical Staffbase and frontline aspects, it gets in the middle of everything because there can be such a different experience depending on the country and role, because we want to provide a great employee experience for the role that you are in. And this means a lot more thinking around it, but that's also a big driver of success in these projects.
Next to that, we see some additional package, and that really depends on the project and on the customer side. Yeah? Here, just one example. where you can also support a lot. I already mentioned that international editor trainings. We have a lot of customers with 100 or 400 editors, also sometimes it's 20, and you can help our customers to start and build up I would say, a multiplicators community, editors corner, whatever, and also to find the process for that. We also have some examples where customers start to have a new campaign to increase the number of the registration users, non-desk work, and also the activity rate, I would say. With the front internet and with the replacing of the existing internet, we're talking a lot about migration. So we also have a lot of projects now where partners support our customers to migrate the content from the old system to the new systems. Really important is the Microsoft 365 consulting services. That's sometimes a little bit funny because we have customers where a partner have the full services with Microsoft 365 and also with Staffbase, and we also have customers where one partner supports the customer with the rollout of Microsoft 365, and we have another partner, they help to roll out the front-end internet based on Staffbase. But it's good, so it's business a lot for every partner. That's a good thing. The last thing is the tech integration, less implementation, but this means more integration in our systems, HR systems, other systems like ServiceNow integration, SuccessFactors integration, specific use cases. We have now a customer, they need some pre-onboarding and onboarding use cases, so maybe it's also something what a partner can develop by themselves and to integrate in our systems. So that means for that we need you as a partner. There's a lot of business, and that is actually all the topics we will not cover in our CS approach. Okay, and now some examples. I bring in one really big one. We have a lot of these companies with this size already, but Deutsche Post DHL Group is a little bit special because I believe they have a really high number of office workers, 220,000 employees. It's like 40%, the rest are frontline workers. And we are actually the front internet for this customer. And I believe it's one of the biggest intranets in the world. Of course, for the logistic industry, it's the biggest one. And I support this customers in my former role as a partner. So I joined the kickoff. I was responsible for the kickoff 5 years ago. And I was talking to 8 partners during the whole time. That means there's one customer, more than, I just know about 8 partners. Maybe there's some more, I don't know. Yeah? But there was 8 partners involved in this project during the whole time, with 20 person days until 500 person days. So that means it's unbelievable. They have also different stakeholders. Some was like working together with internal communication, some was working with HR, some was working with IT. But one customer, 8 partners with a lot of business. That's good. And here you can also see some other examples. I just want to mention 3 examples from this one, and you can also already see the numbers. I mentioned before that it was quite hard to sell 5 or 10 person days from IT perspective. That changed a lot. We still have these customers. We have internet customer with 1,000 employees, and we need some ad hoc support with creating content, pages. And then a partner jump in, helps them with 10 person days to create this content. It was just 2 or 3 weeks, that was fine. We have some other customers on the left side. That is actually an existing customer already since 3 years, and they start a new campaign. They want to create some new use cases to increase the number of the registration non-desk worker and the activity rate. So that means the partner jump in and supports this customer with 15 to 18 person days. And we have the last one here on the left side. That is actually a new customer. They just roll out the intranet, and we work really closely together with this partner to roll out this intranet. And the partner take care about the internet concept, about the information architecture, about content cluster, about the internet management. And this hold actually so 30 to 16 person days. And we're just talking sometimes about the onboarding phase. That means if you are really good, the onboarding phase are quite shorter than 10 years ago. When I roll out a SharePoint intranet, we start with the concept, we have a development project, we have a launch campaign. Normally the average time was between 12 to 18 months, I will say. Our onboarding now today is about 3 to 6 months. It depends on the content migration, sometimes 9 months, but you are really faster in the growth phase, and I think that is much more important in the future for the intranet, not just to go live with the intranet, to take care about the intranet.
And I think there's the same opportunity as I heard yesterday to really sell services contracts, right? Ongoing contracts on a regular basis with services around content, about integrations and so on. That as well.
Yeah. Okay. I not just take some fake thing. Here you can see some anonymized Slack requests from the last couple of weeks. We have a Slack channel. Partner management take care about that. And here you can see really just some examples. How many customers just request us and say, we have a customer in Sweden, we need some help with content creation, we need some help with custom development, we need some help with internet strategy. We get this more and more, and we will just share it with you, and we try to involve you in the project. Yeah?
And that's even like more on the push side of things. Like people are so overwhelmed, or it's painful. They say, "Can I raise a partner?" Right? We can turn around this process and say, "Here are partner services that we can offer actively to customers." So there's a lot of potential in the future to bring in partners much more proactive, right? Yep. And as you all know, it really depends on trust, right? If we trust that the customer will be happy and better off with the partnering, like there's a lot of room to bring in partners. I think Patrick will have the numbers. About 25% of our customers today having a partner or coming with a partner. 75% of our customers don't have a partner yet. We onboard them ourselves. Not because we want to, but because that's something we want to grow out of. We want to have as many of our customers actually involved with partners to bring them in this regard.
And actually we see a lot of opportunities for you as a partner. We're always talking about large enterprise customers. When I start at Staffbase, I say, okay, I will support the sales team with customers or prospects. We earn more than 100,000 euro. I change it because we have so many customers now, they are quite over, so I have to say, okay, more than 150. But also for you, we see a really big opportunity for companies between 500 to 5,000 employees, because normally this kind of customers only have 1 or 2 persons for communication and marketing. They're completely overwhelmed and they need a lot of support for the whole thing. And I think that is a really big opportunity also for you. Depends on what kind of size you have. We have the bigger ones. We also see a lot of opportunities with a smaller and medium-sized one. Yeah? 5 minutes, okay. Okay, the last thing, right. So some of you already know that. We have some foundation workshops. I not want to say workshops, we have some sessions. Because I'm talking about 2-hour sessions, and all together it's like 6 hours with some preparation. We're not talking about more than 1 person a day, I would say. But that is actually what I'm doing with my team for really large enterprise customers. And we just do it for one reason. We want to make the customer aware that it's not just a technical provision of this platform to be successful, it's about the content, about the whole strategy, about the concept. And we just aware the customer that you have to take care about this kind of things. And in the best case, the customer realized, okay, I don't have this internal resources, can you recommend us some partners to help us with that? That is actually why we're doing this kind of session for large enterprise customers. The other reason is, we also believe you as a partner can start with this kind of things, with the smaller packages, for example, to build up a trust with customers, because we see a lot of success when partners jump in with customers. They start with a smaller package, and then the customer sees the benefits, and then they increase this kind of support.
I have a question, Sven. I'm not sure about the answer. Are you planning to share the content of these workshops?
Yes, we can share it. Yeah, we can share it with you also in some enablement sessions. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. And then Frank asked me to say something about the strategy advisory team, because sometimes it feels like partners are a little bit worried about that we take some business from them. That is actually not true. That is actually the team. The team is really small. This exists since 1 year. We have Chef in North America, we have Lottie in UK, and we have actually 4 team members in this area. And the most important, or the most time we spend actually is to support the sales team to win the big deals for them, right? And for the company. And then we also do a lot of marketing activities. What is really important to be the thought leadership about the internet, the front end, and some other topics. And then we just make sure that we also have the internal advisory rule. We talk a lot to the product team, because that is our experts for internal communication and for digital workplace. And that is why we have also a lot of conversation with our product team. And I want to really reduce also these foundation sessions with larger enterprise customers, because we need you as a partner for that, right? So that is not our main business.
Is there a hiring goal?
Only one in North America, because that will be a really important market next year for us. But we not will grow the team because we don't see any consulting service and professional service in the future, just to support the sales team. And that is actually a bit sad, because it's the right time to say we don't offering consulting service, we don't want, that is actually partner support. I'm a little bit sad about that because my business was to advise companies like you do it. I really miss that, so yeah, maybe I also have to change next year to a partner. We can talk maybe tomorrow and the day after that if you need like a Staffbase expert or internet expert. Okay. Just kidding, yeah. Okay, so what is the takeaway? Really important for you. I think every partner needs to build up knowledge about Staffbase. Customer love when you have a little bit knowledge about Staffbase. If you always have to run to us to get some information, then they say sometimes, okay, then we need to talk directly to Staffbase. You have to build up knowledge about Staffbase. Maybe you can think about to consider small and large service packages, also for the onboarding approach and for the growth phase, just to get into the customer and then to try to build up the trust relationship. And then sometimes we have some experience that we try to, or that partners try to offer really big solutions, also 100 person days, and then we don't have so many customers, they start with this kind of number of personal days. And I believe it's really important for the relationship between you and us, also with the relationship with sales and customer success, that we have a lot of projects, that we get some experience, that we also get some good feedback from our customers, and then of course I think you will get also more projects, yeah? Not just think about the bigger ones in the beginning, we need to build up a relationship together. And what we are doing, we also have a lot of tasks. We have the new partner model, that is what you have already mentioned. We will have a new partner enablement rule, because if I say to you, you need to understand Staffbase, we also have to support you to understand Staffbase. We will share your service portfolio internally with our sales team and with our CSMs. And we will start the new co-delivery onboarding approach to hand over some onboarding topics to you if you have some experience with Staffbase. Yeah? So we will really invest in the whole partner program in the future. I think that is the most important message today, hopefully. And now we have time for questions, if there are any questions.
Cool. In the sake of time, because we will have before lunch another session about product. We would love to do a 5-minute break. Like we think I know it's crazy, but let's try it. It's a 5-minute break, restroom, grab some drinks, come back here and walk a bit. And then we have the product session. If you have questions to Sven, you can have it now, like come here and we discuss, or during lunch. So I would say we meet again here at 11:30 for the product. Thank you.
Thank you.